You sit around with your team and so forth, but you don't like meetings before 10 a.m.
No.
You like to get 8 hours of sleep, and you don't like PowerPoints. Explain all that. Why is that?
Okay. So I like to putter in the morning. I get up early. I go to bed early. I get up early. I like to putter in the morning. So I like to read the newspaper. I like to have coffee. I like to have breakfast with my kids before they go to school. So I have my kind of puttering time is very important to me. And so that's why I set my first meeting for 10 o'clock. I like to do my high IQ meetings before lunch. Like anything that's going to be really mentally challenging, that's a 10 o'clock meeting. And because by 5 p.m., I'm like, I can't think about that today. Let's try this again tomorrow at 10 a.m. And so then on sleep, I get 8 hours of sleep. I prioritize it, unless I'm traveling in different time zones. Sometimes it's impossible, but I am very focused on it. And for me, I need 8 hours of sleep. I think better. I have more energy. My mood is better, all these things. And think about it. As a senior executive, what do you really get paid to do? As a senior executive, you get paid to make a small number of high-quality decisions. Your job is not to make thousands of decisions every day. Is that really worth it if the quality of those decisions might be lower because you're tired or grouchy or any number of things? Now, it's different if it's a startup company. I mean, you're really, when Amazon was 100 people, it's a different story, but Amazon's not a startup company, and all of our senior executives operate the same way I do. They work in the future, they live in the future. None of the people who report to me should really be focused on the current quarter. I always tell people, sometimes I get, we'll have a good quarterly conference call or something, and Wall Street will like our quarterly results, and people will stop me and say, congratulations on your quarter, and I say, thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, that quarter was baked 3 years ago. Right now, I'm working on a quarter that's going to reveal itself in 2021 sometime. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be out sort of, 2 or 3 years in advance. And if you are, and then why do I need to make 100 decisions a day? If I make like 3 good decisions a day, that's enough.
Hobby. So you went to Harvard and you dropped out. Have you ever thought how your life could be better off if you had gotten your Harvard degree?
Well, I'm a weird dropout because I take college courses all the time. I love learning company courses and things, so I loved being a student. And there were smart people around, and they fed you, and they gave you these nice grades that made you feel smart. So I feel it was unfortunate that I didn't get to stay there, but I don't think I missed any knowledge because whatever I needed to learn, I was still in a learning mode.
So in the early days, you were just...
My father, growing up, used to encourage my brother and me to fail. And that he would say at the dinner table, what have you guys failed at this week? And if we didn't have something to tell him, he would actually be disappointed. And I can remember saying, Dad, I tried out for this and I was horrible. And he'd high-five me and say, way to go. And what he was doing was reframing my definition of failure. I didn't realize it at the time, but for my brother and myself, failure ended up becoming not trying versus the outcome.
And she quickly learned not to seek validation from others.
When I first created the idea for Spanx, I didn't tell a soul for 1 year. And the reason I didn't do that is because ideas are the most vulnerable in their infancy. And the moment you have an idea, it's human nature to turn to your husband, your wife, your coworker, and tell them your idea. And out of love and concern, oftentimes people will tell you the 2 or 3 things that they think maybe you should consider, and it stops people a lot of times often right in their tracks. So by not telling anybody my idea for 1 year, I left ego out of it. And I didn't have to spend the time defending my idea or explaining my idea. I spent all the time pursuing my idea.
I've got to pick you up on that, Jack, because earlier this year you talked about in support of the 996 work routine, and I've got to underscore to those who don't know it, particularly in China, you work 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week, and you were given a hard time because of that, and you backed off a little bit.
No. 996 is the spirit that I encourage in Alibaba people. If you want to have a bright future, if you don't want to be given up by the society, if you want to be successful, You have to work hard. Of course, you can enjoy life. You know, I work only 2 hours a day. And
Can you enjoy life with the 996 regime?
yes, I do. I do.
Do other people in Shenzhen and elsewhere?
I think most of the people in this world, whether they're great president, whether they're good professor, whether good engineer, a good scientist, or good anchor, like you work much more than you do. When I have a shower, I think, I work. When I'm in the toilet, I think. When I'm running, I think. We never stop working. Because today, why Alibaba need to 996? Because we, on our side, we have more than 60 million business rely on us. If we don't work hard, they lose their hope. So we have to work hard. But if you don't like your job, if you don't like the work you do, working 2 hours a day, you feel very bad. If you love your jobs, people like me, if I love the job I'm doing, I love the things I'm doing, 10 hours a day, 15 hours a day, it's nothing. This is how you view the world. As an entrepreneur, when I was tiny, I thought, one day I'll become a big boss. I take cigar, watch movie, business easy. I should make my company bigger. Now my company is much bigger. I'm much busier, more problems. So enjoy while you are small. Big company does not mean money big. Big company means big responsibility. You take care of your more employees, more customers, more social responsibilities.
The best advice I can give you on a video before talking to you or emailing with you is that you've got to find out the history of people who have tried your idea, because there's a 99.99999% chance that your idea has been tried before. That's not a good reason not to start it, because you might be able to outperform them, but you better learn from the history of your idea, because you know what they say about people who don't learn from history. But one of the big things that all startups do is they lie to themselves over and over and over. Mine's faster, mine's cheaper, mine's better, mine's this, mine's that. No, it's not. And the reason it's not is because whoever it is you're competing with, it's not like they're ignoring you. It's not like, oh my goodness, this guy just started on Shopify in the startup competition. He's doing $1 million this year. Woe is me, I might as well close up the doors. What are they doing? I'm going to copy what they're doing. And now you've got to stay ahead. And so, you've got to be very careful as an entrepreneur to be brutally honest with yourself. And those are some of the things that you'll hear from me as a mentor, that, know what you know what you don't know, but you've got to know your business better than anybody.